This is a Bellular video, and it's literally titled, "Why is everyone putting up with Blizzard?" The straw that breaks the camel back. Is it only a matter of time?
Oh man, come on. Come on, Mr. iPad interface, please work. Right, Dastil. So Dastil asked us, why is everyone putting up with that? From the Hong Kong thing to the arrogance and greed across Blizzard.
That is a good
still
question.
Enough people are sticking around. Is it not so bad, or are the whales so profitable? And you know, it's an interesting
The
one.
whales
That
are very
captures so
profitable.
much. I think it's the thing where it's like, you know, not to be overly deep, it's like, oh yeah, we live in a society where it's like, you're playing World of Warcraft, you're playing with your friends, you're doing your jobs and your raids, you're having fun.
Real.
They put a storm out in, and you're like, this is not where I want to see this thing I like going.
Exactly. You're not going to quit over it.
But is that going to be enough to boot? It's going to have to be a lot to boot you out.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, California's going to have to fuck up a lot before everybody starts moving to, I don't know, Texas and Nevada and all those other American states.
Look, Bellular, let's not give him any more fucking ideas, all right? We've got enough bike lanes here already. We don't need any more fucking bike lanes.
Seemingly everybody's fleeing California.
Jesus.
Right? You know what I mean? It's that thing where I think the amount of low-level issues that people can actually just bear for a long time is really, really high.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot
boiling
to bring camels back. And I don't think they've done that yet. I think they could be getting close because Legion was great, BFA was not great.
True.
If Shadowlands was great, we'd all be, you know, happy days.
I think Shadowlands, the thing is, like, a lot of people that aren't happy about Shadowlands are not happy about it because there's not a lot of content. Like, if 9.1 came out a while ago and we were just playing through the content, I feel like people wouldn't have the same time. Like Legion, for example, people didn't have time to complain about the game as much because new content kept coming out regularly.
But Shadowlands is, you know, it's not as bad as BFA in my
it's not
at all, really. It's
not.
like fundamentally, I think, better design in some ways. It has unique issues.
Yes.
But like, it is not the resounding win that we would have wanted. So I think that could be stacking up on people. And it's like with Blitzchung, we mentioned Hong Kong. I get it, you know, but it's like, are you going to stop just because of that?
No, a lot of people didn't.
That's a complex enough question because, you know, World of Warcraft, the communities that we form, all of that stuff, like, it's big. It's big in people's lives. It is important. So I think for a lot of it, it is very possible to...
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are people that quit. There are definitely people that quit over the Hong Kong thing. But it's like, do you want to have like 8 people that quit? Or do you want to have like the fucking million people that live in China play the game? So it's obvious why Blizzard made the decision.
Voice your negative opinions and still to get what you want from something. It's that sort of strange thing where, you know, could you say the world would be a better place if everybody would immediately, you know, put what feels good, you know, sort of down for some form of greater good? Not particularly sure, but realistically, it's like...
It's not going to happen.
I can't just say that because I don't like how Blizzard handled Blitzchung that everyone should stop playing Blizzard games. And I think for a lot of people that would be quite a disproportionate response. Even though, then, but this is where it does become problematic.
See, Bellular is going to get into a little bit of trouble here, and people are going to get upset about this because he's offering nuance into a complex situation that people have an emotional response to. Now, I tried to do this same thing, Bellular, and I got a lot of people angry at me. So, here's the truth. You're right. This is the same example that I've used with like a lot of these other companies that use slave labor in third world countries, and people keep buying their products, you know, and they know this. Like, they don't really give a shit. People just want to consume. They don't want to think about politics whenever they consume. They don't want to think about human rights violations whenever they consume. They don't want to think about unjust religious persecution whenever they consume. They just want to consume, and they want to eat, and they want to get fat, and they want to be told that it's good.
And I think this is why gaming has moved in the way that it has.
Yeah.
That is something that I think the big companies know and exploit.
They know that, yes.
They know actually how big of a role
care.
they have in our lives.
Yeah.
And because of that, they know they can get away with
They run your life.
So I don't think it's a situation where it's not so bad. I think with World of Warcraft, it could be way worse. Like World of
Yes.
Warcraft could have the Final Fantasy 14 store, and like if the Final Fantasy store was brought over to WoW, I mean, I'd be pissed. I don't think that will happen though.
No,
No,
don't.
I
Don't
don't
happen.
think people would be.
At least not
accepting
for
of
a
that.
long time. But
Yeah.
so I think it is that it is not. It's not so bad that people will leave. You said, or are the whales so profitable? I would say it's not so bad, and the whales are so profitable.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let's think of one particular whale, Zakrar. You know, not to throw any
Yeah,
wild shit at the
yeah.
guy, and he's definitely not a whale when it comes to buying store mounts.
Oh, fuck. What?
But it's a pretty good example because I mean, he got 600,000 views or whatever in that clip of him saying it. But he was saying like, well, for my characters, it's $140 to play TBC Classic, and you're like,
So
means a lot to him. He said he's probably going to do it. I think anyway. Yeah, I mean, he's a whale, and he's not a whale like out of his own fault.
I know, man. And it's like, no, he's Bellular's right. With like, you have the people that play the game all the fucking time, and those are the ones that are spending all the fucking money. Like, it's not these people that are like these casual players. It's people like Rich that play Genshin Impact. So, like, you know, Rich, we were doing interviews with people during a Race to World First, and I had to carry the interview because Rich was literally playing Genshin Impact during the interview that we had with like these different guilds. He was like, yeah, just keep going. And look, I know. And it's just like, I feel like I'm being harpooned. It's like each one of these, you know, it's like a big fucking harpoon. Shit. It's like $35. And then, yes, I feel better whenever I find out, okay, now it's only 15. Oh, now it's only 15. Yeah, because I'm addicted to the fucking game. I play the game all the time. But like, at the same time, even in Wrath, whenever I didn't have the fucking money, I just re-leveled the characters on a new server. The Bellular is not wrong, and it makes me mad. I feel like I'm being taken advantage of. Yeah, I'm getting Moby Dicked.
Or any way that's dramatic. It's just that's the way that the incentives have been set up. Blizzard have created that problem, and it's like, what are you going to do? Not play the thing that actually means a hell of a lot to you and has been massive in your life?
Exactly. It's
so
like,
there's
it's a hostage.
that type of thing where there's people who are almost like begrudging whales because of this sort of setup.
There's a lot of
systems,
begrudging whales.
and then it's like literally the store mount people. But remember, like Asmongold, say doing that for his 4 classic characters, that means that he is he's worth like double to Blizzard, right? I mean, a year of sub versus $140. I mean, that's roughly the same. If you're buying that sub,
if
at
you're
a 6
if you're
month.
buying 2 6 months, probably, yeah.
Yeah, you know, the player who purchases 1 boost and maybe 1 mount a year, they're worth like double a regular subscriber to Blizzard. Not double, but near enough.
That's actually a really interesting way to look at it. That those people are literally worth more money because they will spend more money. That's actually such a good way to look at it. Fuck.
So I think it is that thing where it's not bad enough that players are flocking en masse, and whales are super, super, super profitable, and that is why you are seeing Blizzard do all that stuff.
Yeah.
Because there will be somebody, because remember, the $69.99 deluxe edition of TBC does not come with a copy.
Yeah.
But the sort of person that is targeted at is the sort of person who is the most excited about
Because any fucking person that's going to play a copy is going to find a way to get $100, and Blizzard fucking knows it.
because that's why they buy a deluxe edition. Therefore, what Blizzard clearly wants is for that person to drop $70 on that to get their level boost, and then buy maybe 1 or 2 copies as well.
So 105
and then
dicks in the ass.
suddenly that person is giving them $140, or no, $150. Or no, 140. And then if that person's getting 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 boosts, I mean, man, it's a lot of money.
That's a lot of fucking money.
That's how the monetization works.
That's a lot of money.
In a game where people, there is so much of a strong emotional pull, and you can do macro transactions. And I think that's very different to other games.
I'm so glad Bellular's using the term, man. Because I wanted to fucking get people to say that. I didn't wash my hand because I got a clean dick. All right. Bart, say the thing. So macro transactions. Macro fucking transactions. Let's use that a lot more. Let's say that a lot more. Macro transactions. More of that. A lot more of that.
Where it really is microtransactions that add up to macro. Yes.
Add up, man. That's $135. That's a lot of fucking $35 isn't a microtransaction, bro. That's a meal at a fucking high class restaurant.
Yeah, where I just wanted to point out something somebody said earlier in the stream. It costs more money. Yeah, it actually does. It costs more money to copy your character or to clone your character than it does to purchase Warcraft 3 Reforged, a product that, you know, Lemon Sky crunched while the Blizzard Classic team was working on it. You're like, why would you bother doing Warcraft 3 Reforged or, you know, any game like that when you could sell a store mount for basically the same amount of money or sell a
why make a new game if you can just do a new microtransaction?
Copy paste instead of a cut and paste for more money.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to get into in the amount of people who are like, I don't think they're whales as far as Blizzard is concerned. They have whales in the sense they have like the top end guilds that will server transfer,
that's
and character
true.
transfer, and
that
race
is
change,
true,
and like faction transfer, and you know you look at that and that's however many thousands in one go, but that's nothing compared to it's not nothing compared to the millions of pots of.
It's the scale. It's not the scale.
But the hundreds of thousands of pots of frogs they're slowly boiling, and occasionally dipping and going, oh, there's 20 quid out of you. There's your. Anymore?
He's got millions of pots of frogs.
Well, the hundreds of thousands of pots of frogs they're slowly boiling, and occasionally dipping and going, oh, there's 20 quid out of you. There's your. Obviously, a tenner
Storm
or
out.
$50 a month for a sub.
Pet.
But then it's every now and again it's
Boost.
a 6 month sub, and it's the odd character service out of everyone.
Oh shit.
So they're not going for the traditional whaling of 10% of the player base pay for like the other 90%. They're actually just going for everyone will get
eventually
money sort of slurped out of them every now and again.
Yeah.
But it's so many people that it ends up being all this massive amount of money.
Yeah.
And it's with the 6th month sub, the store mounts that are at the start of an expansion or the start of a patch, and the box price that they're doing that. They have this massive audience that they're pulling out of. It's not really whaling as much because the opportunity's not there. They're just fortunate enough to have so many people that they can actually.
Yeah, they just have to wait for the pot to
more value
to
from
finish
than
cooking.
The average person.
Well, I think
that's all it is.
Whenever World of Warcraft first came out, they had an audience for that game that was humongous, but also routinely had to either beg their parents for the sub fee or, you know, save up their pocket money. And they now know that
or sign your dad up for the sub on a recurring fee and tell him it's a t-shirt every month for 10 years.
Audience cares so deeply about that game because of where it is in all of our lives. It certainly is for me. But they now know that, well, that audience, they've got jobs. And because of that, they have the disposable income, and they know that they can charge these prices, and when they do, it's successful.
Yep.
And say what you will about the morals of it, or whether it's good for the game or bad for the game.
It makes money.
It works.
Yep.
I mean, if you really want to just cut to the chase,
it works.
There you go.
It works a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The game has
players let it happen.
The game has been dying for how many years? And they're pulling in like record revenues. All right.
Yeah, and it's like I wouldn't really say dying, but I would say having severe constant issues that are frustrating, and even in the face of that, it can do so well. Where, you know, take say even Call of Duty, where, you know, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, which was the Jon Snow and Conor McGregor in space. While they're trying, I think they had people from the Uncharted team, and they also tried to make it like Battlestar Galactica. I was like, well, Gator's a great character. This guy's called Gator, and he's got basically the same job.
Yeah.
But that, you know, while a bit of Battlestar Galactica Call of Duty is something I could be quite interested in, it was not what the Call of Duty community was interested in.
That's exactly what I was saying with Assassin's
Creed. That
Creed.
game did, like, way worse. Way worse.
Yeah, because it was horse shit. Nobody fucking wanted it. If they wanted that, they would have played Halo.
But it's like, if WoW has a dud expansion or issues, still does good.
Yep.
And that, I think, just shows you how dedicated the WoW audience is. And I guess that's actually
That's the thing is like console gamers, it's so much easier for Ted on the couch in front of the TV. Is the game? Oh, nah, man. I don't want to play that. That looks like that's dumb. What's on Netflix? But like with WoW players, like PC gamers, like I saw like a picture of a dude that put out a review for a game, and he had played the game for 8,000 hours, and he reviewed the game, and he said it sucked, and then he went on to play it for 7,000 more hours. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at.
Sometimes why I maybe get extra salty about things, because I just sort of see it as like, you know, developers of other franchises, I mean, not developers, but like companies who produce other franchises would get punished more for this level of quality and success.
That's true.
That it almost feels like a little bit unfair, or a bit like, you know, that success is taken for granted sometimes. I don't think it is literally by the developers, but I think that in giving those developers resources and timelines that sort of set them up to fail, I feel like it is taken for granted at the very top levels, and that basically sets it up that developers are in perpetual
they're in perpetual fucking deadline hell, and they've constantly got to meet these arbitrary deadlines that are created by people that are just looking to have a high stock value so they can leave the company with a lot of money with their severance packages. And it's the developers have to deal with this bullshit all the time. Like the devs, look, the devs fuck a lot of stuff up, okay? I think it's genuinely the devs' fault. A lot of things happen in the game. It's not all Bobby Kotick pulling the strings. Bobby Kotick didn't tell him to put in conduit energy. They thought that idea up themselves. But at the same fucking time, a lot of the problems and things being fucked up is not the devs' fault.
Individual crunch, and they always have to think about work, and you know, all of that sort of nasty stuff that makes it very hard for somebody to have work-life balance and actually, you know, do great work, because they're always in crisis mode.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
you're always panicking. You're always worried, scared and afraid. Oh my god. So yeah, I mean, I do feel like Bellular is right. I mean, people are like so addicted and like invested in the game, and like I'll admit that's kind of like how it is for me, right? Because I care about the game a lot, and because I care about it a lot, I'm like more willing to like accept bad things. It does really suck that that's the case, and I feel like you know, it's definitely kind of it's embarrassing. It is. So yeah, I don't know. I do kind of feel bad about it, because it's like, what do you do, right? Do you just like stop playing the game that you loved, that you played forever, because of like some different like reason, or what? And I feel like it's really sad that like the game makes you make that decision. And I always really appreciate a game, something like, you know, as I said before, like Valheim, right? Where you can just play the game and enjoy it and appreciate it without feeling like you're being taken advantage of. And that's so much like whenever I was thinking about paying all that money for like the different character copies, that was the main thing that I was thinking of, bro. I was like, man, I'm like a little sheepy boy, and I'm being fleeced. I'm being fucking fleeced. And it's like, how are you not gonna feel that way? And even if you spend the fucking money, here's the thing, is even if you spend the fucking money, you still feel like shit for doing, you feel like a fucking idiot. And so that's what I think the issue is even whenever you spend the money, you feel bad about doing it. Like there's some people, like on the Final Fantasy store, I saw people celebrating spending money on the Final Fantasy store because they were so happy that they added in bunny boys. Like, imagine that. People are happy that they're spending money. It's an 8-man whale mount. Yeah, that's what Blizzard should do. Blizzard should just completely embrace it and make a whale mount. And have it be $500. And the thing is, if it was $500, I would be more willing to buy it than if it was $25. Because at least it would be funny, because it's so stupid. No, I wouldn't do it either way. But like, at least that way you get to have some fucking funny laughs out of it.